Have you ever played it like this? Hello there, my name is James, and let's cut to the chase, shall we? Cel Damage, a game released on the Microsoft Xbox and Nintendo GameCube, and was published by Electronic Arts, also known as EA this time around, and was developed by Pseudo Interactive back in 2002. Alas, in 2003, it was exclusively released in the PAL region on the PlayStation 2, but instead of EA publishing it this time around, it was Play It. First off, if you're expecting a plethora of changes, don't think too highly of that. What did they add, you ask? Well, they added an additional word to the title, Overdrive, and one of the modes that was locked in the previous console versions is already unlocked, so you don't have to worry about it having to unlock it. Yeah, that's it. It's literally the same game, just on the PS2. But I'm not all prepared here just to talk about the minimal changes and end it right there. No, I'm going to play this game. The last time I played this game was 10 years ago at an old friend's house. Sheesh, that was a long time ago. Well, let's turn on the telly and give it a go. Speaking of telly, an ad is in our midst. The intro is literally a 30-second commercial. It's completely bonkers. Just watch.
Tonight, on a very special episode of Cel Damage, will Violet finally learn of the disease that's slowly killing her? Will Cinder finally become house-trained?
Nah! We'll just drive around way too fast and blow up everything in sight like we do every week! And don't forget to call in during the show and buy crap that you'll never need. Not available in all states. Cel Damage, tonight at 8.
Surprisingly, it gets the message across of what to expect without really needing to explain anything. And it satirizes ads in that crazy sort of infomercial way. The commentator is pretty funny. He has the best line delivery for the word nah. Nah, 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 nah. Moving on. Alrighty, let's give myself a name. Yeah, Dilimon. I like coming up with random non-existent names, okay? We have a fair array of wacky characters. We've got Violet, BT Bruno, Cinder, Dominatrix, Foulmouth, and Fleming. There are also 4 other characters that you can unlock in the game, such as Count Earl, Brian the Brain in the Jar, T-Rex, and a bull named Whack Angus. Such creativity. Now you're probably assuming I'm going to play as Fleming, the one with the glasses. Well, nope. He's not my favorite. I'm going to play as Foulmouth. He just has this humorous mafioso gangster vibe and reminds me oddly enough of the spies from Spy vs. Spy. So for the majority of the game, I'll be playing as Foulmouth. I gotta admit, it's a charming name. Goes well with his personality. There are 3 modes to play in the game: Flag Rally, Gate Relay, and Smack Attack. I'm just going to have a quick practice in Gate Relay so I can get adjusted with the steering wheel. Before I do such a thing, I should introduce my accessory for the day. This is the Mad Catz Dual Force, and I used to use this a lot for racing games such as Ridge Racer, Gran Turismo, and V-Rally as a kid. And there was one time where I actually completed Spyro 2 on this thing. I had a lot of time on my hands as a kid. Like most kids did. So I thought, why not give Cel Damage a shot with the wheel? And here we are. I'm going to regret this. Nope, this was a horrible idea. If I were to explain the controls, I'd say the turning is very sensitive, and in order to use weapons you have to step on the pedal. This steering wheel wasn't made for this game, and is not a great recommendation. It is funny though, trying to at least get through the gates. Whilst the other characters are breezing through, I'm flipping and going all over the place. Luckily the controller buttons are on the wheel, so I can use these instead. But two problems. One, they're all about the place, just jumbled everywhere. And two, I might as well be using a normal controller. This was my idea in the first place, so I'm just going to have to get good. Is that what the kids say nowadays? Get good? Anyway, let me get back to talking about the modes. Gate Relay is the easiest to explain. You go through gates. I just blew your mind, didn't I? Yes, you do indeed go through gates around the arena in sequence against your opponents and successfully gain first place. It's enjoyable to some degree, though to be honest, it isn't exhilarating to play. The arenas weren't really designed for going around through gates. These are combat arenas. You know, so you can go about all over the place and lay the destruction derby roar on everyone. I apologize. And the other two modes prove it. Gate Relay seems like it was added on to change up the variation with some racing. It isn't bad by any means, it's just you'll probably play this mode for a few tracks and then head over to the other two. Flag Rally is where you pick up flags with shoes that run away from you and take them to this groovy bendy goal pole so that they shall arise into the flag heavens. And whoever gets the set number of points first wins. I played this mode the most out of the three. The intensity and chaos of trying to grab all the flags before your opponents is just gratifying. Especially when you're way behind like I am right now. The satisfying thing to do is when an enemy has a flag, you sabotage and retrieve their flag when attacking. But they can also do the same thing. Almost there. God damn it! If you collect more than one flag at once, the points will double. Gathering 2 flags equals 3 points, 3 flags equals 6, and 4 flags equals the ultimate 10 points a win. I haven't managed to gather 4 flags at once, but I have managed to get 3. If that says something. Smack Attack is true to its word. You got to whack your enemies as much as possible. And when you do, you get points. Lots of points. Just depends on the weapon of choice. Don't expect to win by throwing bricks, that leads straight to losing Boulevard, right next to winning Central. I think this mode is a real blast, and would probably be the most played mode in both the single player and multiplayer modes. You can chainsaw your friends! In cartoon fashion, of course. I'm not that sadistic. Smack Attack is sheer mayhem and can be a lot of fun, but I still lure over to the Flag Rally mode mainly because it has more challenge. I think you got the gist of all the modes. So what about the tracks? Well, there are 12 arenas overall and consist of 4 themes: Desert, Jungle, Transylvania, and Space! So that's 3 arenas per theme. Some of the names they come up with these tracks are amusing. Babbling 5, Monster Mosh, Swamp Stomp, Wild Woolly West, Counts, Castle. The arenas seem small, but they feel enlarged as you traverse around them and bounce about the place. Some have obstacles to pass, deadly hazards that'll leave you to your doom, teleportation devices, and trains! So not only do you have to withstand your opponents, but also that stuff. What you get out of beating each arena is more weapons in the other arenas down the line, and short cutscenes. Okay, we should actually talk about the real controls with the, controller, the real thing, the real ordeal, the non-third party controller that we use for most of our games. Not the steering wheel. The vehicle movement is slick and highly responsive. There is no doubt about that. Although managing a tight turn does take some adjusting to. Let go of that accelerator, my friend. The use of weapons, they work fine as well. It plays fluently and doesn't hinder your gaming experience, but I think I need to talk a little bit about the moves you can do. So you can pretty much accelerate and use items, you've got the gist of that. But there's this one move that is a cool addition. Flipping everywhere! Not only is it helpful to dodge other players attacking you, it's also a great mechanism for getting to the flag goal post faster and passing races in Gate Relay. It's just absolute fun. Cel Damage contains weapons aplenty, from melee weapons such as boxing gloves, chainsaws, axes and baseball bats, to ranged weapons such as the chain gun, grenades and the freeze ray. And each character has a special weapon they can use when they hit this exclamation mark box. Foulmouth has a Tommy gun. What a coincidence. When you don't have a weapon, you can throw bricks, which does minimal damage, so make sure you equip a weapon. When it comes to story, there isn't really one. Apart from the intro, you unlock short cutscenes for each character you play as when completing a certain number of tracks. Then again, it's more or less just for comedic scenario and less on story establishment. The closest thing you'll get to the plot is by reading the couple of paragraphs that are in the manual. Like these. Cel Damage Overdrive is the most popular cartoon demolition derby show on Toon TV. Each week, the world's toughest toons smash and crash their bruising, cruising vehicles onto, over, and through the Cel Damage Overdrive set. With sky-high ratings and a global audience, this ongoing whackfest features 6 main cast members who constantly battle to outrace, outsmack, and outmaneuver each other for personal toon glory and fame. I'm playing a Saturday night TV show. Bam, there's the story, enough said. If I were to mention graphics, I'd say it's not spectacular, but the graphic style of Cel Damage is what makes Cel Damage. It's absolutely vibrant and colourful, Cel Damage is. The arenas and characters are like living cartoons. It's pretty much Twisted Metal in cartoon form. That's a good analogy. Just the way the cars steer from left to right and literally bend, it looks cool. When I say that it's not spectacular, I mean as in, it's not going to blow your mind and it's not the best looking game I've seen. But graphic schmaffics, I say. If you didn't know by now, the game is rated MA. Yes, a game for mature audiences. And to be honest, it doesn't really deserve that rating. Sure, it's violent, but there's no blood and gore, and the minimal foul language is bleeped out. It's got as much violence as a Looney Tunes cartoon, and I played this as a kid and it didn't affect me. Heck, I didn't know it was rated MA at that time. So, I say that it's suitable for a younger audience. 8 and under, not so much. I do admire the little things though, like this one. When Foulmouth takes damage, bags of cash just flush out of his vehicle's boot. Then inside of the boot, you can see a shovel and a body bag in the shape of a croissant. Yeah, I think that's enough. The music is in the hit and miss category. There are tunes that I absolutely enjoy, such as Monster Mosh, Schmo versus the Volcano, and the interface loop. And then there are those tunes that aren't horrific, just not memorable. For example, Shooting Stars and Wild Willie West. What the whole soundtrack does correctly is mesh the certain arena's theme with the genre of music that it fit, whilst retaining the sameish sound quality of the OST. Now, is there anything else I've left out from this game? Oh. This game does feature 2 to 4 couch body multiplayer, but I can't really test it out because I don't have any extra controllers is all. But alas, I can just imagine the intensity and invigoration and just chaos that would consume into the 4-player split screen. Although, I do think the multiplayer would probably fizz out after an hour or two maybe. But that's just my thought. So that's Cel Damage Overdrive, and it is pretty enjoyable. It's not a game for its story, but for its sheer cartoony, chaotic carnage and mayhem. Think of mixing Cel-shading, Crayola crayons, wacky races, Saturday night cable TV, Destruction Derby, Looney Tunes, and Twisted Metal, put them all in a blender, and you'll get Cel Damage Overdrive. I recommend playing this game, but please, play it like you would eat bread with a bowl of soup. Dip chunks of bread into your Mindstorm soup instead of absorbing it as a whole. Otherwise, you're gonna get a piece of soggy bread. As a matter of fact, that was a horrible inspirational message. What I meant was, don't plow through this game in one sitting. Play it every now and then so it doesn't lose its flavor. You can easily find a copy of this game on the online shopping websites for a pretty cheap price. But if you wanted an upgraded version, then I would consider buying Cel Damage HD on the PS3, PS4 and PlayStation Vita. And I can assure you, it is worth the dough. I'm pretty much spent after playing this, so next time we're gonna go for a bit of a change. Anyway, my name is James and this is my game. I bid you adieu. Bye bye. How the hell do these things work?